Hi, I'm Bob Lisa, Executive Director of Prime Plus Senior Centers, and this is Prime Time with Bob. And I'm with a gal who I've known for a long, long time, and every time I talk to her, she tries to encourage me to go shopping. Lisa Renee Jennings, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you, Bob? Good to see you.
Absolutely awesome. When we first met, you were keeping Norfolk beautiful and doing all kinds of wonderful things, and now you're looking out for the little guy and for the employee in Hampton Roads. What are you doing now?
What am I doing? I am over at Retail Alliance. Our headquarters is in the Neon District in Norfolk, but we serve all of Hampton Roads.
There you go.
And I run a little program you may have heard of called LOVEVA, L-O-V-E-V-A, as in be a local business lover. And I'm having a good time. I've been here about 3 years.
It's hard to believe because, yeah, you went there about the same time I left the city of Norfolk. And,
Yes.
and you've really made me aware over the last 3 years of the impact of my dollar, that I can either really help out someone locally and get what I want, or I can get what I want and the heck with local. Is that a kind of a direct way of putting it?
Yes, you could absolutely say that. We say support what you love or risk losing it.
Yeah.
Harsh, but true.
It is, and I think during COVID, we're starting to see more and more empty storefronts, and that's scary.
Yes, yes, we are. Sorry about my camera.
So,
Yes,
so we
we
can actually
are.
do something about that, right? By spending money local?
Keeping it local. Yeah,
Okay.
thinking local first is definitely a way to support those small businesses. When you spend that dollar at your local bakery or print shop or whatever, they're going to take that dollar and also spend it locally. And then the next person is going to take and spend it locally. So that's keeping it in the community. And then doing those keeping those local revenue coffers running so we can support police, fire, local school boards, and the like.
Yeah, well, and just because you're buying local doesn't mean it ain't good. When you mentioned bakery, you can't see from the shoulders down, but I've put on about 20 pounds during COVID because
You got the COVID-19?
Yeah, been gaining weight.
Good stuff. Good
Okay,
stuff.
I'm going to fess up.
Okay.
The way we got this show going is I posted on Facebook, and it was innocent. You know, we're a nonprofit. We're part of that Smile thing with Amazon. So for the Prime Days, I put out there on Facebook that, you know, support Prime Plus by supporting Prime Days. And I got a very nice note from you reminding me that there are better ways. So.
Right. So just briefly, so with the Smile through Amazon, folks have to purchase, they have to be qualified purchases, and Amazon will give 0.05%. So I would have to spend about $1,000 in order to give Prime Plus, for example, $50. And they'd have to be qualified purchases. Now I give that money to Amazon, that goes to the Amazon Foundation, and then it's actually the Amazon Foundation that is giving to the charity, so they get the tax write-off.
That's a long
So there are better ways to do that, and I am
Prime
sure.
Plus a check for $50.
Right, let me just write you a check for $50, Bob. So much easier. And I am sure that there are tons of local businesses in the area that support Prime Plus and other small charities in many, many ways. Mm-hmm. So if they're not there, they're not going to be able to support us. And that's one of the great things about local is they're buying the t-shirts for your basketball teams, and they're giving you the silent auction items for the school fundraiser and all of those things. So without them, we would lose that.
Okay, I have a heart to support. So Saturday I went out with a list that would have put me in deep, deep debt. And I hit all those stores. I came home not in deep, deep debt, but the point of my question was every store I went to was within Hampton Roads. So it was locally placed, but their corporate office was someplace else, Chicago, Seattle, wherever.
Right.
Did I do okay? I mean, did I do okay? I ate at a restaurant that we all know and love, and they're all over the place, and they're good corporate citizens.
Mm-hmm. So it's a hierarchy,
Yeah, how does it work?
if you will. The best way you're going to keep dollars in Hampton Roads and in our community is to think local first. So independently owned brick and mortars first. That's the best.
So that pastrami sandwich that I got in Virginia Beach for lunch yesterday that was that big, I won't mention where I got it from, but everybody who's been there know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Locally owned.
Okay.
Versus that other
Yes.
place where I could have gotten the sandwich about that big. Yeah.
Right. Then the second best would be our chains and our national stores and all of that, because at least you're supporting the staff that works there and you're keeping them employed.
Okay.
And then the best way to send money out of Hampton Roads and not have it would be to shop online at the place we talked about earlier.
Big A. Now, when because I don't take the time to shop. When my wife was on it last night, she was shopping for masks. And she did. She eliminated places. She looked for American made only.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of weeded out all those other countries. And so does that help, though, to kind of be aware of where you're buying it from if you are because she's one that hasn't left the house.
At least she's keeping dollars in the United States. I mean, it's on each of us to do the best that we can, and that's what I'm talking about. Do the best you can. If you can think local first, and if the best local you can do is made in the USA, hey, that's at least keeping dollars in the USA.
Let me switch gears. What about that local small gift shop who relied on people like me, and let's face it, my age, as a loyal customer, but I'm staying home because that's where it's safe to be? How are they doing?
They are suffering, frankly. They are suffering, but they're also scrappy people. Small business owners are the hardest working people I know. So they have done things like you can FaceTime with them and they will walk you around the store. You find something you like and they will drop it in the mail for you. They will.
So just like FaceTiming with your grandkids, you can FaceTime with a gift shop. I like that.
Yes.
It'll cost you the same amount of money.
Help me find them. Yeah. And they'll meet someone, your designated picker-upper, if you're one of those folks staying home, and they will meet them out at the curb and they will hand it to them, so that keeps them safe as well. So, and they've also started their own online. They've had to compete with just the national way of doing things. And so they are now online. So there's another way to support local. You can shop online and still support local these days.
Lisa, I have a confession to make. Before we started recording, I made a comment that I'm 1 inch away from being over my head with technology. Is it okay that when you call a restaurant, when you look up the restaurant for curbside, number one, local.
Yeah.
And they give you all these options of ordering your thing through online.
Yes.
Is it okay if you call them and order it like the old-fashioned way?
That is actually preferable.
Really?
If you're ordering through these delivery services, those delivery services are taking like 30% from that. So it's better for them if you call and say, I'm going to come pick it up or bring it out to me to the curb, because that's they're getting to keep that 30% in their pockets.
Wow. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Keep it old school, Bob. Keep it old school.
Oh, yeah. Well, in fact, I called someone when I was shopping the other day. I started calling around and I made a comment to one of the clerks that answered the phone that I was doing it the old-fashioned way, letting my fingers do the walking, and she had no idea what I meant.
No idea.
Okay, you mentioned Retail Alliance because you guys are advocates for retailers,
yes.
Right?
And small businesses.
Okay. Now, what is a small business? Again, when we think of local or small businesses, they're not all, there's some chains around here that are locally driven.
Yes. So there are certainly locally owned franchises, but those owners are still here in Hampton Roads. And so when you have more businesses in an area that are locally owned and the owners reside there, more democracy. They're more involved in what's going on, whether it's flooding or parking or whatever it is. That's the best.
Mm-hmm. So Retail Alliance looks out for the small business and the retail.
Small businesses. We do specialize in retailers. Mm-hmm.
So you're looking out for the local guys. What kinds of things are you doing over the upcoming? By the way, did you know Christmas is right around the corner?
Yes, it is. Yes, it
So what's
is.
it going to be like this year? And
This
what are you
year,
doing for them?
This year, we've got a couple things. Be on the lookout for what we're calling the Local Is campaign. We've made a cute little ad, pulls at your heartstrings, reminding folks to support local. And we are reminding not only the business owners and advocating for them and advising them on best practices, but we're also reminding the consumers to start shopping now. Don't wait until the end of November to make those purchases. Small businesses are hurting. They need it now. Shop now and spread it out and do the practices we talked about. Call up and get curbside pickup if you need. Order it online from small businesses. Small businesses provide the best customer service. They will help you and meet you at your needs and what you need.
And what's really cool is if you've got those kids or grandkids that will send you a link of what they want for the perfect gift. If you shop the way you just suggested, you're giving from the heart instead of the link.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Put money
Is there
where
a
your
place
heart
where-
is.
I know you got a whole bunch of stuff coming up and we're kind of running out of time, but is there a place where somebody can go to get more information about where should they shop? Do you have a list of the local retailers in that?
Well, of course, I'm going to talk about the LOVEVA app. So the
Yeah.
LOVEVA app turned six years old this month. If you
You
download
know that was one of the first apps I put on my phone?
Really? That's
Well,
cool.
you wouldn't let me hang up until I did.
Cool. I like that. I like that. That app is free. It has one button you can click on that says find a business, and wherever you are in Hampton Roads, it's going to pull up the closest local businesses to you. It has all of the social media links. It has their phone number in there, Bob, so you can do old school and call them.
So go to my app, go to my phone, go to the App Store, and look up LOVEVA.
LOVEVA, LOVEVA, like be a local business, LOVEVA. Yes, LOVEVA. Easy peasy. We make it very simple. It is not one of those complicated apps. It is a very simple, structured app, so don't be afraid of it.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Not $1.99 a month. It's free.
No.
Cool.
And since each business has a listing in there, so you can call them, check out their website, go to their Facebook page and see what sale is going on right now. And that is the easiest way to support local, shop local, and you'll get rewarded for it. So each time you shop with a business, you get a heart, and when you get to 10, you can get a reward inside the app as well.
And then I get a weekly thing from you, kind of giving me some hints.
I do. We do a newsletter that informs folks what's going on in the area, whether it's local events or important things like what we're talking about. I've done an article on what Amazon Smile really is, and the new businesses that pop up on the app, you'll be the first to know, and all of that. So that, I would say, that's the easiest way to find out and to support local is through the LOVEVA app, and through we have Facebook and Instagram pages. They're simply Local LOVEVA is what they're called.
I'd like to say that I do this because I'm well informed and educated, but it's mainly because you make me do it. I look for the decal on the door.
Yes.
And then what's really cool is when you deal with somebody who's local, for me anyway, when I go to order my Chinese food, they recognize my voice.
Yes.
They know what I'm going to
That's
order.
that customer service.
Yeah, I get my pizza at a neighborhood pizza place, and my name is on the box.
Nice.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of Bobs around.
These are the things.
They
These
know
are
me.
the things that connect us.
Yeah, so it's personal. Lisa, thanks for everything that you're doing to really provide support to the anchors of our community, because when we talk about community, it really is about the local business people. And you hit it on the head. They're hurting now.
They're hurting now. They're the heart of our community. They need our support now more than ever. And
Yeah.
Bob, I want to thank you for providing this, what you're doing through COVID. This is super important. You've had a lot of great people being interviewed, and I'm honored that I got to join them. So I appreciate you.
Well, will you forgive me for thinking broadly over all options, right?
Hey, you were doing what you thought was best. I'm just here to inform.
Lisa, thank you for everything.
Thank you, Bob.
Hey, now keep in mind, stay safe, but stay connected. Thanks a lot. See you later.